Hello, everyone. So, today we'll be dealing with topics like conditions or decision making statements. We'll start with a simple if else and else if statement and nested if conditions. Later on, we are going to move ahead with loops. So, I don't know if it can be covered in just one video. We'll try to finish the conditions first and then we'll go with switch. Uh, Later in the next episode, probably we can go ahead with loops. So, as I told earlier, in the previous episode, we had done something with respect to operators, and then we ended up with the logical operators, I guess. And then I said that we'll start with the conditional statements. So, we'll start with the conditional statements right now. Um, as usual. So, here, just in case, if my program is going to consider that we are going to take two values from the users and find the maximum value. Okay. So if that is the case, first of all, we need to ask the user to enter the two values. So that would be, I'll take two values. Declaration will be int a comma b because we need two variables to hold the values. C out, we are going to ask the user to enter the value of a and b. So once he gives us the value, I'll take both in the same scene statement. We have a and b value. So if I'm using a if condition, I'll have to have if parenthesis else parenthesis. So basically what we are going to do, this will be the syntax. What does this condition, the parenthesis do? We are going to write the condition there. What is the condition? If A is greater than B, that means we have passed 10 and 20, let us say. If 10 is greater than 20, is it true? False. Then it should come to the else block and execute only the else part. If this condition is true, then I'm going to give C out. The max val equal to, can give A. Okay. If this is true, if I give A value as 20, B value as 10, 20 greater than 10 is true. If it is true, only then it will come inside the if condition. So wherever I have given bracket, within this bracket, whatever you have written, that will get executed. It will not go to else. But if A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, 10 greater than 20 is a false statement. This calculation will be returning as false. So you will come to the else block and the else block will get executed. And here I have to write max value is B. Okay. So we will save this. If we are running this, I'll give 11, 12. So it is going to give me max value as 12. If I'm going to run, let us say, value of AB, I'm going to give 20, 11. Max value is equal to 20. Okay, whichever is the max value, it is going to print. If I'm going to give 11, 78, 78 is the max value. What if I give two values which is equal? Okay, I have to say that the values are equal, let us say. If that is the case, I need to have multiple conditions, not just one, multiple condition. That means if A is greater than B, then it is going to write that is the maximum value is A. Else, if B is greater than A, then it is going to write C out max value is equal to B. If A is greater than B, then this block is executed. If B is greater than A, then this block is getting executed. The only condition that is left out is equal condition. So else I can write C out A and B, both values are same. So in this case, if you write A or B, both will mean they will have the same value. Okay. So when do we use else if? In this case, either this or that. So only two condition possibilities were there. Here, I have three condition possibilities or many. If I have multiple conditions, right? Then I can go ahead with the uh, if statement, else if statement. If this is not true, it will come to else if. If this is true, then it will not go to the else block. It will come out of this if condition. It will come to the 22nd line. Okay. Now, if 22, 22, if I'm giving, this is not true, not executing. This is not true, not executing. But here, A and B, both the values are 22. So this will be true. So this will get executed. In this case, if I'm going to give PRG10, okay, and if I'm going to give 11, 11, sorry, 11, 111 I have given. So 111 is maximum, which is fine. If I give 11 and 11, here A and B, both values are same. Or you can give equal. Can I use some other example for this? Yes. I'll give you one more. So in this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask the percentage from the user. Okay. Enter the percentage. If he's giving percentage, I'm going to give int a, only one value is okay. Now, I want it to be written as, let us say, if the percentage is 0 to 35, I want it to be fail. Okay. If it is above 35, that is greater than 35, and if it is less than 50, then I want it to be written as pass grade. Okay. And if it is greater than, sorry, yeah, if it is greater than 50, and if it is less than 70, I want it to be written as B grade. If it is greater than 70 and less than or equal to 100, I want it to be A grade. Okay. Now, if you notice, I have written multiple comment statements. So instead of writing this every time, I would have put this in a multi-line comment. So how do you write multi-line comment? You give slash star and then star slash. So this will provide you multi-line comment. This will not get executed, but it will be there for your understanding. So instead of keeping it here, if you want to just write it before the function program starts. Okay. So a program to demonstrate if, else if, else statements. Okay. So we have multiple conditions right now. Once we have taken A, instead of writing A, I will take it as per. That will make more sense. So here, once we take the percentage, if percentage is greater than or equal to 0, and yesterday I spoke about AND gate, where two conditions also, both the conditions has to be true be in order to make the outcome as true. So here the percentage should be greater than or equal to 0, as well as if the percentage is less than or equal to 35, then it is going to come inside this particular bracket. Means if condition will be satisfied. Now, here I had written a curly brace, right? Usually we use curly brace when we want to execute more than one statement. But here we had only one statement. Still, I had used curly brace, which is okay. But if there is only one statement per condition, like if condition has just one block to get executed, then I need not write put a flap bracket or a curly brace. I can just go ahead and write C out. Mm. What was this? Fail. Okay. Now I have one more statement, right? That is else if this percentage is greater than 35 and it should be less than or equal to 50, then it is pass. Okay. Usually we say pass class. Grade will be usually ABCD, but let it be. If you want to keep it as C grade, also it is fine. Now, similarly, if this is greater than 50 and less than or equal to 70, then it will be B grade. Okay. The last one is A grade. It's greater than 70, less than or equal to 100, then it will be A grade. Now, sometimes people will be giving 150 as the percentage or minus 120 as the percentage. So, both are not coming into our set of criteria. So, those are invalid percentages. So, anything which is less than 0 and anything which is greater than 100 will fall into the bracket of else. So, here we are going to give it as C out invalid marks. That's it. Now, if you're running this percentage, I'm going to give it as 34, fail. Then the percentage, I'm going to give it as 56, that is B grade because it is greater than 50. If I gave 40, then it should be pass grade, which is coming fine. If I'm having 78, A grade. Now, if I give anything above 100, invalid marks. Okay. Or percentage. You can make the changes as invalid percentage or something like that. Okay. Fine. This is if else if statements. Now, can I go ahead and use any other kind of multiple choice? Yes. Switch statements you can use, which will come to the next part. Now, where exactly we make use of switch statement? For example, I have given press 1, 2, or 3 to check your horoscope. Okay. I'm allowing the user to either enter 1, 2, or 3. Anything other than 1, 2, or 3, I'm going to give it as an invalid choice. So let me take choice as an integer. And here, C in choice. Once this is done, then I'm going to use a switch statement. In switch, we can have a multiple choice. How do we write each case? Like if the user presses 1, then what it should do? Presses 2, what it should do, and presses 3, what it should do. Anything other than 1, 2, 3, then it should go as an invalid choice. Now, how do we write it in a switch block? For switch, you have to always take switch followed by parenthesis, which parameter you are going to pass, because this is holding the value what the user is giving, either 1, 2, 3 or 45, whatever it is. Curly brace is important here. If he chooses 1, then I'm going to write case 1. Okay. And I have to print what case 1 does. So I'll just write C out. You will have a beautiful day. Okay. After that, I don't want to write anything else. So I'll accompany it with a break statement. So if he presses 1, he comes to the switch case. Case 1 matches. Choice is 1. Case 1 matches. Here it will say you will have a beautiful day and it will come out of this break. After break, it is going to come out of the switch and write whatever is written after 16th line, whatever you have written, right? That will get executed. But right now, I'll write down all the cases. That is case 1, case 2, case 3. I'll write case 2 and then this is case 3. So you'll have a confusing day. You'll have a terrific day. Okay. Anything other than these choices will come under default. Invalid choice. So let us see how this works. Okay. So if I give 1, you'll have a beautiful day. If I give 2, you'll have a confusing day. If I give 3, terrific day. Anything other than that minus 100, whatever, apart from these case statements, if I'm going to give 100, invalid choice. Because they have given us only 3 choices. Okay. This comes under what? Under the switch statement. Now, what will happen if I don't write break statement? Okay. So I'll show it to you. It will behave a little differently based on which choice you have given. So I will remove this break statement. And you might also ask why I didn't write a break for default, because default is the last statement in your switch. So after that, you have a curly braces. So after this, it is not going anywhere. It is coming out of the switch statement. So you need not use a break when the default is at the end. Okay. So what happens in this case? If I run this without a break statement, if I'm going to give, and if I press 1, you will notice that there is no brake at all, right? So it's like a car without a brake. We keep on moving. So here, if you don't put a brake, case 1, case 2, case 3, till there is a break statement encountered in the switch, it is going on printing. Okay. What happens if I give 2? If I give 2, it is not matching case 1, but it should match case 2. These things should be printed. Let's see whether the behavior is the same or no. If I give 2, see, from second choice, it is going to match. And after that, you didn't put a break statement. So it is going to go on executing without any stop. Now, if I have a break statement, but default, can I write it anywhere in between? Yes, you can. I can write it here. Now, how it will behave for each case, let us say. If I give case is equal to 1, case is equal to 1, it said you have a beautiful day, you have a break statement after the case, so it came out. Now, if I give, let us say 4, 4 is a default statement, okay? You'll notice that invalid choice is entered, as well as you will have a you'll have a confusing day. What does it mean? That 3 was, 4 or 100, whatever I've given, that is not there in case 1, case 2, or case 3. So it came to default. It printed this, but you didn't use a break statement because default is not at the end, default is somewhere in between. So what happens? The next statement also will be printed, but it will cut off when you get the break statement. Okay. So if you are using default in between, it is very essential for us to put a break statement. Now I'll show it to you how it works. So if you see here 40, 40 is not there in my choices. Now it is behaving perfectly. Why? Because even though you put the default in between, you allowed to have a break statement so that it finishes here and it doesn't go to the next statement. Okay. We have nested if conditions and all those stuff, but we will do it in the next episode. Thank you.